Hello and welcome to Hitching the Trailer. I am Greg, and with me, as always, is the woman who made me an old dad, Nicole.
Hi.
So today we're doing Old Dads, which is starring Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale, and Bokeem Woodbine. I'm a big Bokeem fan.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
I think I saw somebody refer to him as Angry Dave Chappelle.
That's actually pretty funny. So I guess the question is, you ready to pod, babe?
You ready to cast, babe?
Let's go. So we're doing Old Dads. You got the IMDb blurb up there.
I got the blurb.
Let's do it.
So the blurb says, three best friends become fathers later in life and find themselves battling preschool principals, millennial CEOs, and anything created after 1987.
Fantastic. I completely feel this movie as being someone who had started having kids later in life.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off where he's basically telling the kid who gets hurt to rub dirt on it, which is such a
old man thing to say.
Yeah, like when I was younger, if like we fell or like we hit our arm, my dad would like spit on it. You'll be fine.
Do people actually tell you to rub dirts in your wound?
Oh, I think spit on it's worse.
Is it? I don't know.
Like, what is that gonna do?
Keep it moist.
Like if it's a bruise, you'd be like spit on it, and rub
Did
it
he really
in.
say that?
Yeah, all the time. He'd be like, I'd be laying there with like my leg like just completely swelled up, and be like, spit on it. You're gonna be fine. Just walk it off. Walk it off was another one.
That could have that could have come full circle for you though. When your dad have his leg removed,
True.
Should have been like, come on,
spit on it.
Just, or even worse, walk it off.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Bill Burr. It looks like Bill Burr is he's the mastermind behind this movie. He also had kids, like actually later in life. He wrote and directed it.
Yeah, I love Bill Burr.
I know, I do too.
You know what the movie's just going to be real. Like his stand-up is so real. He's not politically leaning one way or the other. He's just like, this is how I feel. You like it or you don't. Either way. He's a Boston guy. Like Dennis Leary is the same way.
Loved Dennis
right?
Leary.
They're both
I have
both Boston guys.
I have a very significant crush on Dennis Leary, and I have since I was younger, which I think says something about me. But
you like those old dads?
I do.
But yeah, Bill Burr is so ridiculously funny.
I do. I love his stand-up too.
Stand-up's great.
We watched that F is for Family show.
F is for Family was great when he played his dad. Right? He did all the voices. Did he do all the voices?
I don't remember. It's been a while since we watched it, but it was hilarious.
It was very funny. He was originally on the Chappelle Show back in the day too.
Oh, really?
He was really funny on that. I wonder, he might have been a writer on there too, I would think. But he was one of the characters whenever they like had white guys on. He would play like the white guy.
Do you know what's really funny is just looking at this and like, you know how like sometimes when you look on IMDb, the top billed cast is not always like the stars are not the first ones that come up.
Right.
So just the first four people that I see is Rachel Harris, who we just were watching something, and you're like, oh, was that the principal in New Girl?
The principal in New Girl. No, that was from the trailer.
Oh, was that the trailer?
Yeah.
Duh. That would make sense. Duh.
Yeah, he gets into it with her because he's late for the meeting, and she's like, well, if you would have read the handbook, and he's like...
And I'm pretty sure that he calls her a cunt. We don't hear it in the commercial, but I'm pretty sure that's where that's going.
That's a very Boston thing to say.
Bobby Cannavale is the second person. Some girl named Katie.
Are you joking?
Oh wait! Oh my god!
That's a girl from the league.
I know, but I didn't recognize her in her IMDb.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't recognize her in the IMDb picture. It's a good picture of her, but she looks like she's a 21-year-old in it. And then the fourth person in that top billed cast, C. Thomas Howell,
The Soul Man
Soul
himself.
Man himself.
The
Just weird
the
that we're
movie
just
that
talking about
yeah,
that.
we're just talking about Soul Man. The movie that has disappeared.
I feel like we're always just talking about Soul Man. We bring up Soul Man a lot.
Yeah, because it's
mind-boggling.
Well, first of all, that movie, if it came out now, would be like
it wouldn't come out.
No, I know. It would be like see the most racist movie you could ever think of.
Because it is.
It was like nowadays it's like, did you wear blackface? He was in blackface for a whole movie, not like Halloween costume. Whole movie.
The cancellation.
Hey, you wanted to get in college. The only way you could do it.
Oh my god. It just makes me uncomfortable even listening to it. Like,
but on the same level, Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface for a whole movie too.
Yeah, totally different.
Tropic Thunder.
Totally different.
Yes, it is totally different because it was a spoof.
Mm-hmm.
And Soul Man
was Soul Man was not. No.
Soul Man, Jesus.
Just funny that
but
he was at the top
somebody
of the
else
list here.
The one podcast I listened to, the Rewatchables, they were just talking about Soul Man as well, and they said you can't find it. Like Amazon, Netflix, nowhere. Mm-mm. It's like erased from, but nobody forgets it. Everybody, because HBO was running that movie like twice a day.
What was HBO thinking?
They would go that and oh my god, it would be like C. Thomas Howell Day.
Outsiders.
No, Side Out. I think it was.
Oh,
it was a beach volleyball movie where he was the young up and comer, and they played against Koch Karai, and that's the only reason I know. He was like the most famous volleyball player in the world at one point.
What was it called?
I think it was called Side Out.
It sure was. Came out in 1990.
Yeah.
A law student comes to California for the summer and ends up playing professional volleyball.
Yeah.
Him, Peter Horton, Courtney Thorne-Smith. Wow, that was a
90s movie.
Who's who of a 90s movie, yeah. Kathy Ireland, your girl.
Oh, hell yeah. Kathy Ireland in 2 classic movies, Side Out and Necessary Roughness.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't see anybody. But interesting.
It was somebody they played against in a tournament. His name was Koch Karai. They were like the best. So
okay.
it wasn't an actor. It was a real athlete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, he might have been...
Somebody wrote, the greatest volleyball movie ever. Is it the only volleyball movie ever?
Do you consider Top Gun a volleyball movie?
No. It was a movie that had a volleyball scene.
I don't know if there's another volleyball movie.
That's what I mean. Was that written as a review ironically?
I don't know.
Somebody else wrote best volleyball. Somebody wrote best V-ball movie ever. So I'm assuming that they're a hardcore V-baller.
They were definitely a setter.
They're in on it.
Google volleyball movies.
Ridiculous fun. Wow, this is crazy.
How many stars?
The funny part, it says right here, trivia. The song Playing with the Boys by Kenny Loggins, which is featured in this movie, was previously heard during the volleyball scene in the movie Top Gun.
So Kenny Loggins is the go-to when you have a volleyball movie or scene.
I wouldn't think of anybody else.
Kenny Loggins.
Log jams only. We did.
He was great.
We saw him.
Was he like 85?
No, I don't think so.
He was good.
He's probably in his 70s, so he might be in his early 70s. He was good. Is one of my favorite things. We went to Atlantic City to go see him. You had gotten tickets.
Yep.
Were they free?
Yep.
Yeah. That's not shocking. And which they honestly, it should be shocking in the sense of he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
He sounded phenomenal. His band was great. Great all around.
Sounded like we were right back in Footloose.
I wish. My dream come true. We were waiting there.
Your dream come true. You wouldn't even be able to dance.
They eventually dance. That's the whole point. And I would want to be that rebel. Anyway, so we're waiting to get in, and we're standing in this like huge sea of elderly people.
Yep.
And I see two other young people in the crowd.
Right.
And obviously, we had been drinking, whatever. We're on our own. I think we only had one kid at the time.
I believe we did only have one kid.
And somebody else had him. So we were
Yeah.
we were staying in a hotel or whatever. We're in Atlantic City. And I say to this guy, and I'm like, I was like, of all people, I would never assume, that you would be here, that we would be here. And the guy looks at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, we're so young. Like, look at everybody around us. I'm then later on turning to you, realizing that I said this to two black guys that must have immediately thought, like, I was like, what are you black guys doing here? We're going to see Kenny Loggins. And the guy laughed out loud, like hysterically after that. And I just didn't put two and two together that like, but yeah. And then we go to our seats and we sit down, and this was a sitting down concert. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I got up for a couple of things or whatever.
You were up for Danger Zone.
I stood up. I love my log jams. Yeah, I'm a big Kenny Loggins fan. And look next to us. You had to go to the bathroom at one point, and there was a elderly couple. And when I say elderly, I mean elderly.
Yeah.
Next to us, like they had seen
90s.
They had lived through many wars, I would say. And the man was out. He was asleep, mouth open, but like you have to wonder sometimes, like, is he alive? Is he, still with us?
If I didn't hear a snore, I definitely would have thought he was dead.
But yeah, the bathroom, like, the best was that you had to go to the bathroom, and it was like the very end of like the concert. Mm-hmm. And he sat up, and this man clapped as if he had seen the best show in his lifetime.
He's like, Loggins, right?
This
guys? Loggins?
Like, it was so funny. That was such a good time, though.
That was a great time. C. Thomas Howell was in the trailer, though.
No, I didn't even understand. I didn't even know he was in the movie.
Yeah, I wonder if he's another old guy that works at, because it seems like they work at, like you said, they have to relate to this younger CEO or whatever.
Yeah, this like millennial guy comes in and says like some nonsense shit about it being like, now all of a sudden it's a gender neutral it's a carbon neutral.
If anybody's seen
lifestyle brand,
Bill Burr's stand up, he does not go for that.
He literally was like, I don't know what any of that means.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, also I'm with him. I didn't understand what that would mean.
Like, things change every week. How can anybody keep up? Like, unless you're sitting on social media all day watching the trends.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what people do. They just make new trends and they watch it. Where it's like,
how do you know you're making a trend?
I have no idea.
I know you don't know.
I've never made a trend.
I'm aware. Maybe you made old dads a trend. There you go.
Could be. Not talking to anyone, is that a trend?
You've been doing that for a long time. You're ahead of the curve.
People thinking you're intimidating because you just don't feel like talking.
Don't tell everyone your secrets.
Well, I don't want to be labeled as a mean guy.
Honey, nobody cares enough to label you anymore.
True.
We're past that.
True, and I don't care if anybody.
Right. You know why? Because you're an old dad. Don't matter.
Perfect. You know, one other thing I was going to say about IMDb?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they put people in there that's not actually in the movie. Like, I've seen that before where it's like, wait a minute, Magic Johnson's not in this movie.
In a starring...
They'll have him in the cast. And it's like, what?
There's a lot of good people in this cast. Like, just like, I'm sure even just like bit parts and stuff. But there's Natasha Leggero is in it.
Yeah, they showed her in the trailer.
Yeah, Rory Scovel, which I don't know if you... So he's in the show Physical on
that
Apple
one
TV.
That's like about like Jane Fonda workouts or something.
It's Rose Byrne, and she's like becomes this like 80s workout.
Yeah, like the Jane Fonda
But
videos in the
it's
80s
not
were.
about Jane
No,
Fonda,
I'm
so I don't
saying
want you
like.
misleading
No,
people.
I'm saying like the Jane Fonda videos, like their workout videos or whatever, like Gene Simmons, Jane Fonda. They were huge back then. Infomercials
Yeah, so kind of
era.
like that, but it's all kind of about her like how like mentally fucked up she is and all these like messed up. But he's her husband, and he's so funny. Like he's so obnoxious. He's so funny. He was in I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer.
I don't remember that one.
That's the one where she hits her head
And she thinks she's in
and
a.
she thinks she's like absolutely
I was like
gorgeous.
in and out on that one.
And then she thinks like everybody's like into her, and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
like
yeah. I remember you watching it, and
it's a good
I
one.
wasn't.
It's a good one.
I was doing stuff at the time, I think. Wait, was he in the trailer?
No, I didn't see him. You're like, he's not in it. They just made that up.
Like, IMDb also says that Mike Tyson's in this movie.
Yeah, of course.
No,
He's
I'm just kidding.
in every good movie, is he not?
But yeah, the beginning when he tells that guy in the beginning of the trailer when he's like, "Now go on Twitter and tell everybody about it. How you were the hero here."
Yeah, that sounds like something that he would say in like his stand up.
100%, 100%. I love Bobby Cannavale too.
Oh my god, yeah. Married to Rose Byrne.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I remember his first thing I remember him in is Boardwalk Empire.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, because he was naked. That's why.
He was what?
Naked.
Necking?
Naked. I said naked.
Since when do you talk like that? What does that even mean?
That he was naked? Do you not know what that means?
Not when you say it like
because the way
like
you were like, oh, I remember Bobby Cannavale from that too.
I don't even think he's that attractive.
No,
that's not what I meant. I meant like I loved that show. I mean, he's attractive. Like,
it was a great show.
But
what was he just in that we watched?
He was just in
something with Pete Davidson, right?
He's in his show.
Oh, he's uncle, right?
Bupkis.
Yeah.
Yep.
That show was
Uncle
funny.
Tommy.
He was in Mr. Robot too. You didn't watch that?
I didn't watch that one. He was in Ant-Man.
Was
he? Mm-hmm. Sing 2, which
classic.
You have kids, you've watched, or not kids, but
100
watched it enough.
Yeah.
I like those though, the Sing movies. You know, I like. Oh, what was the other one? The one with him and, oh my god, the one with him and Naomi Watts, where they have the house in Jersey.
Oh, The Watcher.
The Watcher.
Oh yeah, he was real good in that.
Yeah, that the end of that one pissed me off big time, but yes, he was good.
Well, the issue is that you think based on a true story means it's like absolutely true.
I take when I want to watch, because that's
you're
when
like,
I hear
got it.
Based on a true story, I am in, because I believe that this is like everything is said verbatim, everything is acted verbatim. Like this is actually how this stuff went down. Like 100%. This is the truth.
They're like based on a true story, but it's a guy named Pete who worked at a factory, and then they completely fabricate the rest of the story like he saved somebody or something. And the only thing that was true was actually that his name was Pete and he worked at a factory. Like a lot of times that's how they're based on a true
story. But not in my mind.
No, you're like...
No, in my mind, Pete, who worked in factory, wrote down every single thing that he said, every single thing that somebody else said, with direction.
Yeah.
It's just...
blocking and all.
Yep.
Lighting.
Recorded his whole life.
Well, Pete knew that someday...
he was going to have to save someone.
He was going to need to be based on a true story.
Yeah. He actually went to go push somebody into a machine so he could save them. Just so there would be a movie.
I would watch that movie.
See? There you go. It was based on a true story.
The story of Pete.
The story of Pete. No, I'm always, that gets me hooked, line,
every time. And I'm
sinker.
always like, I don't think it actually went down like this. You're like, no, they definitely took their car, reworked it. Now it flies. Like, of course, some people have flying cars. I'm like,
Nobody. That's never been based on a true story. But you know what it is? Selena.
anything for
Anything
Selena.
for Selena's. At like that movie. Come on.
Okay,
To me, every single thing happened to that movie.
I doubt it, but
You
okay.
could say that. You
Um,
never saw Selena y los Dinos. That was the band.
that was the name of the band.
Yeah, when she's
Elos
little.
Dinos.
Y los Dinos.
Ilios Pizzas.
Yeah. Oh my god. Mortifying. Your language skills.
I'm, I only know American because I'm from America.
Oy, that's even worse.
We are not French.
Um, but so with the movie Old Dads, obviously you being an old dad, I want to know because you did not come from an old dad.
No,
Your
I
dad
came
was
from
how
just about the youngest dad possible.
not possible. There was a kid who was 13 that had a baby.
Yes.
How old was your dad when you were born?
20.
So growing up, so when you were 20,
yep,
your dad was 40.
Correct.
You are now 45, and your oldest child is 5.
Correct.
And you have a 3-year-old and a almost 6-month-old. And
Correct.
that is, how does that feel?
Tiring. But I feel like
exhausting no matter what.
But. Yeah, anybody that becomes a parent, it's exhausting no matter if you're 20 or 40 or 45
yeah,
or 25.
But it's harder when you're older, I think.
Yes and no. Things. I feel like when you're younger.
I mean, I don't know yet because I'm not older because I'm 10 years younger than you.
Again, so this podcast is based on a true story.
35. No, that is actual fact. That part
yeah,
of the
but
podcast,
you're not 25.
Documentary.
You're 35.
Calm down. I'm 35.
Saying like when you're,
but I'm like a young 30. Like in my mind, I'm still like 28. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That might be based on a true story, but the fact here is that I'm 10 years younger than you.
Are you gonna let me answer the question?
Go ahead.
So I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm a little more weathered, a little more tired.
Would you say you have been rode hard and put away wet?
I would not say that. That's rude. It's a rude thing to say. But I don't have that. Like when I was, in my 20s, it's like, party, let's go. I want to go out. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't have that anymore. Like I feel like I don't know, maybe that just comes with being a dad. Maybe when you're 23 or 24, you just start to feel like, okay, now I'm settled in. Mm-hmm. I just feel like now that I'm older, I'm like, I did all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not like pining to do it. I'm okay with just being home with the boys.
Yeah.
And
was your dad
my
like
beautiful wife? Was my dad wanting to go out with the boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he also was like big into like coaching and like sport and having us do sports and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he still wanted to hang out with his friends and stuff. They would come over sometime. He would still play basketball. Like we would go to the gym like at like 7:00 at night or 6 or 7:00 at night. Him and his friends would be playing full court basketball.
Like, Daddy, I'm tired.
Me and my brother, no, we would be on the side messing around.
You'd be like, shut up, I'm trying to shoot a free throw.
We're heckling.
Pipe down over there.
We're like, get a job, get a job, no. Heckling him at the free throw.
He's like, one more word, you're walking home.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it might be easier. I would say probably in your age range is like the good middle ground. Mm-hmm. Like, mid to late 30s.
Rude. I still
wait. Is that not factual now?
I got a child under my belt in my 20s.
You did get a child.
I was 29.
Oh, I was 39.
Yeah, I was 29.
I got one under my belt under my 40s.
So you know what it's like to have a child in your late 30s. Um, but yeah, it's different. When you're a mom, it's different.
Yeah,
You're
because
insta old.
oh yeah,
You're insta
well,
old.
because you spend all that energy making the baby.
Yeah.
Like it takes all that of you. I
Not
literally,
so much for you. What was it?
I spend a
20
good.
seconds?
I was gonna say 30, but short change me 10 seconds, whatever.
No, but you mean the actual growing
The
of the
growing of the child,
baby.
correct?
Yes. Well, yeah,
And
that'll do it.
that takes a lot out of you. Giving
Ah,
birth takes
sure
a lot
does.
out of you,
Sure
and then
does.
the recovery. You know,
Hmm.
that's almost a full year of your life, probably a full year of your life.
Yeah.
So you've given away 3 years of your life now. Not given away like you're creating life, but
For 3 years. I'm like,
for
well,
3 years, yeah.
our oldest
So
is 5, so I've
that's what I'm
given away
saying.
a
But
lot
the
more than
three
that.
times it took you a
Yeah.
year, so that like kind of
Hmm.
takes some steam out of you,
True.
you know.
The first one, man, though, I was so effervescent. I was so
You're still
excited.
working.
I was so,
You're like, I can go to work. He'll be
I
fine.
loved it. I loved it.
And then what happened?
Then I had him. And then it's not so easy once you have one to get pregnant with another one.
Yeah.
And then get pregnant with another one. Third time around was the roughest I felt because I was sick
Oh yeah.
I was sick every day for like 4 months. I'd never thrown up before. And I'm that type of person where like I truly believe things are not going to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta get sick when you're pregnant. Please. For the week. For the week.
Maybe for someone not as super as me.
And then couldn't even barely brush my teeth because I would instantly throw up.
Yeah. You're like, when are you coming home? I need crackers. You don't have that many cravings this time around, though.
No.
Like,
I was never. I don't feel like I was a huge.
I
Because
feel like you ate
it
a
would
lot of
go
pickles
like.
with Austin, and now he eats a million pickles.
No, I wasn't a big pickle. I wasn't like you're going like quintessential. Like in a movie, they're gonna show a woman eat pickles with ice cream and all that. Like I would go. I would change all the time. The thing I remember the
The
most.
voodoo chips that you bought a case of, and then we had like half a
Let's
case
not discuss what happens to the Chevalier family with cases of chips, okay? Mister meets a her salesman on the side of the road who gives you multiple boxes
free chips
of expired chips, sir.
They're only, that's a sell by date, not a you can't eat these anymore date.
Okay, well, we got a whole box of the you can't eat these anymore in our garage.
But I ate a lot of them. I was taking them for lunch like every day. But it got to a point, like after about a month past sell by date, I kind of gave up on them. Weak by me.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened to you with the ramen challenge, so why would we think that chips were any different?
I thought you didn't want to bring that up anymore.
I don't. It just haunts my nightmares.
Delicious ramen.
Ugh.
So pivoting back to the trailer, the third
old dad
is Bokeem Woodbine, who the first time I ever remember him being in anything was the "I Ain't Mad at You" video, Tupac, and he was like the Tupac. I think was like in heaven, and he was like his friend that he was talking down to.
Tupac is now.
Yeah.
Caught his killer. True or false?
Suge Knight says no. He says that it wasn't him.
Suge Knight said it was me.
I'm pretty sure Suge Knight thinks it was Puffy. But the whole another pod, I guess. Conspiracy rap kills pod.
I don't think we should lead up that podcast. I'm just going to throw that out.
That's not in our lane.
No, definitely not.
He was in some movies that used to be played a lot on HBO as well. A movie called Jason's Lyric, which was one of the first CDs I ever bought, was that soundtrack.
Was it a horror movie like Jason?
No, it was like a romantic, like not a rom-com, but like they used to make those movies back then. Like
Not like Jason Voorhees sings a song.
no, no. I'm surprised they haven't made that movie
Well,
yet,
I'm
though.
sure they have. It's probably somewhere.
Best Jason movie, Jason Takes Manhattan. He's walking around, he punches a guy so hard in the face that his head pops off and goes into a dumpster.
No, thank you.
You're not into that?
No.
So the other movie that I remember him from is a movie called Devil,
Mm-hmm.
which was about a bunch of people getting caught on an elevator, and the devil starts like taking them over. He was like a security guard, and like they were just like killing each
The
other.
devil was a security guard?
No, Bokeem Woodbine was the security guard.
I think you just really like saying his name.
I do like his name.
Yeah,
It's a pretty unique name.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a pretty good movie. But you're not into horror movies, so you wouldn't have watched it.
I'm not, but that sounds odd
It
enough.
was different.
Like
It
the
was different.
Saw movies or whatever. When Saw came out, I watched that. I think that if I was trapped in an elevator, I would pray that the devil would come and kill me because that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
How long do you think you would be stuck in an elevator before you absolutely freaked out?
15 minutes max.
You're like,
I'm passing out.
You're like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. No.
You're trying to climb.
The oxygen is gone to me. No.
You're like, I can't breathe.
Yep, no. I'm climbing out and cutting the cord so I just fall to my death or something. I don't know. Like, it's not
Oh man, imagine you were in there for like a day.
No. Oh, I can't even.
People
You just saying that
pissing in the corner
makes me feel like somebody's sitting on my chest. Like, that just makes me so anxious.
That's rough.
An elevator. Ugh. I don't even want to look at anybody on an elevator. No less get trapped in one. Like, the idea of, like, when they have, like, that in, like, rom-coms or movies where that's, like, the meet cute of, like, people get stuck in an elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You would see my worst self. I'd probably get, like, terrifying, like, gas where I'd just be, like, fucking... Because I was so scared of what was going to happen. Like, no, there's nothing...
Would you... If you just started farting, like, uncontrollably, would you try to like play it off like cutely and be like, ducks, huh? Or what would you?
If I'm trapped in an elevator? No.
Trapped in an elevator with like...
No, I'm done. I'm in my mind.
Like
I'm already
tuba farts, like. Like what? Like, would you be like, "Whoa, the band's coming through"?
No, I wouldn't.
What was that movie though? The Church House Squeaker. Johnny Knoxville.
I don't know.
Wasn't it like Old Granddad or something like that?
Bad Grandpa?
Bad Grandpa, and then he shits on the wall.
Was that in an elevator?
No, that was in a diner.
No, but I will just no.
That was a big time for like half scripted movies, like Borat and that movie, like where like the people didn't seem to be in on it. It was just that was a Johnny Knoxville in a
little kid.
Yeah, and the little kid.
Remember they put the little kid does a like beauty pageant.
Yeah.
And then starts to like strip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Johnny Knoxville's in the back like, I taught him everything he knows.
That was a funny one.
That was really funny. I love those movies though. I love movies where it's like the other people in them, the like don't seem to know what's going on, and it's like, what the hell is going on?
That's shocking to me because I don't know if you remember, but when the show Impractical Jokers came out, you were like, I would hate this.
Well, because
they used to touch people's food.
Well, look what happened to that one prankster kid, the YouTube prankster that got shot.
Yeah.
Because he was like because at the beginning they were obnoxious. And then they just started pranking each other. Like at first they were like taking food off people's plates. I would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah, you don't mess with greatest food. God
you
forbid.
Come after my egg roll, I come after your whole family.
God forbid.
We don't take no prisoners.
Greg would be one of those people that they'd be pranking that would get arrested for
I mean, like
attacking
Chris Farley in the
Colombian
Folgers. Yeah,
crystals.
you did what? What did you say?
Stab someone with a fork right in their hand as soon as they went for a
Oh
fresh
yeah,
fry.
I'd be all over it. Yeah, you don't come between a man and his food.
Listen,
I believe that was one of the Ten Commandments.
yes. Of Flavor Town.
The 10 Flavor Town Commandments.
You know that they
You would
have their
know.
own. I do know.
That's your guy.
I am the co-mayor of Flavor Town.
Who's it's you and Guy Fieri, or you have somebody else in mind? Is Guy Fieri like the governor of Flavortown? Or
Oh, see my sister dressed up as Guy Fieri.
there, yeah. Fantastic.
Never
video.
forgetty. Um, so you were a fan of this guy in different movies.
Yeah.
You've seen him in different things where you're a fan of
Yeah.
this.
He's good. He was just in Spider-Man.
Yeah. Do you agree that he's the grumpy Dave Chappelle?
That is a funny thing. You said that before. Yeah. Well, I mean,
this devil movie is M. Night Shyamalan?
oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is he? I don't know.
I don't think he was like the writer though, right? Or did he just direct it?
He's not the director. I just saw him though,
Yeah.
talking about it. So he
Maybe.
was something.
Maybe he just likes it.
He's just a big fan. And he wrote it.
Oh, okay.
He didn't direct it.
I was
So you
completely
were wrong.
off. I was
Based on a true story for Greg.
It is based on a true story, isn't it?
For you.
But all it was is just you farting in an elevator.
That is also based on a true story. If that's how we met,
So
you wouldn't even complain.
I would be laughing my ass off. So I would say the part when they're in like the office,
Yeah.
it gives off a little bit of a vibe of, remember the Owen Wilson and
Vince Vaughn, the
Vince
intern?
Vaughn,
interns,
right? The interns, and they work at Google or whatever.
No, wait, hold on.
They're like the old guys in the office.
Yes. But I don't know if that's the right name for it.
The Internship? No, that was the Robert De Niro one, right?
The Internship. No, the intern was Robert De Niro. That's why I was the Internship. Yeah.
Yeah, the old man in the office is
it's something that's been done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like trying to fit in with the kids. Like Bobby Cannavale's like, you heard that new baby song? It's on fleek.
He said it's fleekity fleek or whatever. Yeah.
The girl's like, ooh.
You know what though, honestly and truly, and I'm not even out in the world. I'd stay at home.
Yes, you did.
Go into an office or I used to be a hairstylist. I don't go into a salon anymore or whatever. But I feel like that the amount of times a day I have to Google what slang is mortifying to me. Because I always want to think that I'm like, again, like I said, I'm 28 in my mind. Maybe an old 26 on a good day. Yeah. But
I'm cool.
Especially now, and maybe it's just me, but like all these videos or all these reels or whatever these people are posting, and everything is like an acronym, but I don't understand what the acronyms stand for. Like I know you don't know what an acronym is.
Yeah, of course I do.
But I thought, so there was this one.
Aquaman, you said, right?
There was this one recently that was GRWM, and I
Wait,
thought...
let me guess it. GRWM.
GRWM. Well, I thought it was grown woman. In all the contexts that I've...
Ramen, wet noodles?
It's M, first of all, you dingbat. Second of all, stop thinking about ramen. God.
Never.
So I thought it was grown woman.
Okay.
But it's get ready with me.
Huh.
And then when I think about all the videos of all these girls
It's
getting
girls
ready,
putting makeup
yep,
on, basically.
and getting dressed and all, it
Huh,
makes
that
sense.
makes sense.
But I had to Google that. There's a lot of them that I have to look
I
up.
don't understand the cap thing.
No cap.
Yeah, like no hat? Is that supposed to be like a hat? You don't put your hat on or something?
I know you're joking right
I
now.
have no idea what it is.
And you think that
Well,
these
they all in
young
the
folks are
they always show a hat in it.
referring to a hat
I have
and they're
no
calling
idea
it a
what they're
cap?
referring to. I see nobody all day. Like I just drive around in a truck by myself, and it's
But if you see somebody with a cap,
fantastic.
you're like,
I'm
no
like, oh,
cap.
he must be tripping.
Oh gosh.
I don't know what. I don't understand it.
Let's see, what's no cap? Because I was gonna answer and then I'm like, you know what?
You better
I
look it
might
up.
not know.
You're
Sure.
like, well,
No cap meaning is no lie. That's what I thought it was, or for
but
real.
what does a cap have to do with a lie? That's I don't understand the I.
According to USA Today, the phrase no cap has its origins in African American vernacular English. The English language as the blacks speak. Yeah, I don't know if that sounds right.
Yikes.
I didn't write this.
Well,
This is from economictimes.com. According to dictionary.com, in the 1900s, the term to cap meant to brag, exaggerate, or lie about something.
huh? Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'm never going to use it. I'd rather
Never.
die
Yeah.
than have somebody call me out on saying, yeah, no cap. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have to. So I relate to these old dads in
Yeah.
that sense. I
Because
also don't love change.
no,
I am very much of
you
like
do not.
I don't. I really like things to kind of stay. I love when it comes to like holidays, like traditions and
Yeah,
stuff.
you're very
Like
traditional.
I'm not very
No, you
traditional
like
in
your
this. I
traditions.
yeah yeah. I like to do things kind of the same. It's like
Yeah.
it's what I'm comfortable with. I don't love like changing things up all the time.
Yeah, which is impossible to not do when you have children because things are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Like schedules. What like you're about to go somewhere and then one kid shits his pants and it's like
And then so do you, and then
oh,
you've got to change your pants.
no, I did not change my pee pants all day long.
No, it is. It's you have to be as go with the flow as you can, and it's very difficult. I was definitely when we met, I was not a go with the flow type of
No,
person at
definitely not.
all. And I think I've come a long way.
Yeah, because I'm 100% go with the flow
Yeah.
guy. I'm like whatever you guys want to do. I'm good
Yeah.
with it
I've definitely become way more easygoing because of you.
for sure.
But I still don't know if I'd say I'm go with the flow.
You still need a little bit of a
I
plan.
still like a little bit of a plan. Yeah. I think I'm easygoing as like I'll roll I'll roll with it. Like
Right.
I'll if something happens, like I have to, I might still have a meltdown on the way to rolling. I might
You haven't had a meltdown in a while.
roll into a meltdown. No, you know what?
You had some epic meltdowns back in the day.
I don't really have meltdowns anymore. I have rage
Yeah.
cleaning. Like I rage
That's
clean.
fantastic. I actually egged that on. I'm like, oh, these kids are being wild today, huh? Ooh,
No, rage cleaning is only in preparation for anyone to see
Yeah.
our home.
Like, oh,
I become an insane person.
I didn't tell you that Aquino's coming on this weekend? And then you're like, scrub, scrub, scrub. I'm like, oh, he canceled. Shocker.
I don't know many women that don't rage clean though.
Yeah, you probably all do. You think that was like
We
from
came
back
from mothers who rage cleaned.
right? That's like a 50s, 60s thing where it's like nobody could
I don't
step
think it was
into your
a
house.
50s, 60s thing because
You
I don't think they necessarily rage. I can't imagine my
They
nana
just
rage
always
cleaning.
clean.
I think they just spent all their time cleaning. Well, when you spend all your time ignoring your children, you have all the time to clean.
I guess so.
You know, the back then they had kids, they popped them out, and then they were like, you are to be seen and not heard, and
Right.
just
Go in the backyard. Go play. Not even in the
backyard. They
backyard.
didn't
Just
care. Go to
go.
the
Yeah.
streets. They left those kids, especially both of my parents, my grandparents, were all in Brooklyn. They
Right.
were in New York. That's what they were. They were street rats.
Like, go play stickball in the middle of the road.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Keep traffic going nice and slow.
Game on.
So the last part of the trailer, we kind of discussed it already, where he's like arguing with the principal of the preschool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself ever getting into an argument with one of your kids' teachers?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think it's hard because I think that we don't value teachers and educators the way that they should be valued.
Mm.
I think people are very quick to attack them, diminish them, go to the side of not my child, not
Right.
not my baby.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I am
Very protective.
I am a mama bear to the max.
Yes, you are.
I don't even like going to the fucking park because I hate other people's
the worst.
kids. I hate other people.
Yeah, it's rough, especially when the park is crowded. And like the other day when we went to that festival and they were on the playground.
Ugh.
And like,
it's my nightmare. My nightmare.
They're trying to go up the stairs to like a slide, and there was a little girl ahead of our oldest. And I'm like, give her time. And then there was another kid behind him that was like basically breathing on his neck. And I just wanted to like shove the kid off the ladder.
Yeah, obviously.
And be like, where's your dad? I'm going to fight him. Like, that's what should happen.
The park?
I think
if you
people
were
would take care of their kids a lot closer if it was like, you're being a prick to my kid. Me and your dad now have to fight. Yes. Let's go.
Oh and my God, that would be my dream. That would be I would love the park if I was just able to slap people.
If it was just half UFC fight.
But you know what? This is the thing. Honestly and truly, I would say, I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, 8 out of 10 times, I'm not even mad at the parent. I want to kick the kid. And that's what makes me feel worse.
The parent should be like, hey,
but I think a lot of the times the parents are.
Oh.
I think a lot of the times the parents are worried. And
I don't go to the park as much as you.
And I don't go to the park nearly as much as our kids probably wish I did. But I just...
I'm like, we got stuff in the backyard they can play with.
It's like, here's a rusty metal pole. Go swing yourself around on it. Oh God, I just hate it there. And to me, if I see an empty park, I'm more willing to be like, oh, okay, you want to go to the park? Yeah, God, you want to run around? Run yourself ragged to the point that you fall asleep on the way home. I don't care. But if I see a crowded park, every time I pull up to the park, if there are people there, I'm like, oh,
it's God. Anxiety to the max.
And then our oldest, who is just the social butterfly, could not even... But there's
walking around going, hey, do you want to be my friend?
Literally once. Like, and they're little shitbag kids that'll turn around and be like, no. And he's just like, oh, okay. Like, I'll just go stand over here in the corner. What? I'm sorry. Oh, what a jerk I was for asking for you to be my friend. No, like...
you change your mind, I'll be over there.
I can't. It's just not for me. It's not for me. And so that's like, now that he's in school and like I keep getting these freaking emails for like the PTO.
Oh, yeah.
Be on the PTO. I gotta pay to be on the PTO. No, A, that's ridiculous. B, the other problem is, would I like to do it? No, probably not. Would I do it? Yes. But because I have the other two with me at home, I can't take them to anything. I can't bring them to, like, I think back in the day, it used to be like, if you were going to volunteer to do something in the class, you you could bring your other kids. Nowadays, they're like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
liability. And
I don't know. I don't remember ever.
I feel like I remember my sister coming to school when I was in kindergarten if like something was going on.
Uh, I don't really remember getting on them. It was a long time ago, but I doubt my brother was there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like he didn't do much schooling, so.
Well, if you were in kindergarten, he wasn't in school yet, so
Sure.
you're like,
Well, we did have a Spanish class together in high school. I had to get him to pass at least one class.
yikes, shots fired.
Just kidding.
Mine would have probably been reversed. My sister would have had to get me to
Yeah.
pass mine and choose
You're
two.
like, hey, Danielle, I know you're a freshman, but do you mind taking algebra?
She's like, I took that in sixth grade. Sure.
Yeah. How about I
I
just
don't know
do
if we
your
had any
homework?
classes together in high school. Now that I think about
Well,
it.
were you a junior when she was a freshman, or
Yeah.
see, I was
Yeah.
a senior when my brother was a freshman. So the only, I had already taken 3 years of French, and I went back and took freshman Spanish just so we could be in like first year Spanish.
Mm.
Couldn't tell you a word.
I heard some
Hola,
accents of
hola.
yours. Yeah. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
That's from an Adam Sandler skit. That's the only reason I say that.
No, that's not why I said.
Biblioteca.
That's from Bridesmaids.
Oh, great movie. So you didn't answer the question. Would you fight?
Yeah, I would. I would 100% fight a principal. I'd fight a teacher. I'd fight a parent. I'd fight a kid. I would fight anybody that fucks with my kid. I think that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. And again, I want to say I would be as respectful as possible until that person was not respectful.
Well, like that's in the trailer.
So
It seems like she was being a bitch to him, and
yeah,
he's like, "Listen, lady."
yeah.
She's like, "If you read the bylaws,
But
I would be like, yeah, I don't sit around reading freaking bylaws."
you could have just stopped at reading. But
I don't.
did you? But remember, recently we just read that article about the Long Island mom who ran over the kid.
Oh yeah.
The kids were fucking with her kid, and they stole his shoes and backpack and some stuff like that or whatever. And then she hit the kid with her car. And I felt like
But
maybe, but maybe.
she also earlier threatened those kids with a knife.
Yeah,
So,
but maybe I would too.
but also maybe she was just crazy and those kids didn't actually even steal her kid's stuff. Because then she hit the kid and was
But
like,
if they
"Oh,
did,
I didn't know it
but
was
if
him."
they did,
That's how she got off. And she was like, "I didn't know it was him."
she got off because there were parents in that jury box that were saying to themselves, there's a couple of kids I'd like to run over with my car. You know?
Disturbing.
There will come a time, Greg, there will come a time where you will say the exact same thing.
I've already dealt with this. Remember when we used to bartend together and somebody took the drinks that were meant for you and I jumped over the bar and I went and I snatched them out of the guy's hands and I started screaming in his face.
Sounds like you need anger management, sir.
I think I got it all out back then. Got it all out. I haven't been
It's
angry.
going to come to your kids and you're going to feel completely different.
Yeah.
You are going to lose your ever.
Oh, yeah. I'll fight a dad eventually, probably.
I mean, I hope not, but.
Well, if any of the dads out there are listening, back the fuck off. But any other parts of the trailer that you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah. The one part that made me laugh was
LOL.
when they go to take, yes, it actually made me LOL. When they take like electric scooters or whatever, like, you know, like in like a city, you have to like pay for them or whatever on your phone. And he's telling, Bobby Cannavale's telling your boy Bo Keem over there, he's like, come on. And he's like, you know, I got a flip phone. And I genuinely think if it was not for the fact that you like Twitter and you gamble, I think you'd be fine with a flip phone.
Yeah, I don't do much else other. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's
But I don't know because I like being able to look stuff up. Like when I'm watching wrestling, I'm like, oh, was this guy ever have a different name?
what if I just handed you?
An encyclopedia of wrestling?
Yes, how did you know I was going to say that?
I don't know because I feel like you're gonna say something rude like that. No, because then
Is that rude? Encyclopedias are rude?
I'd have to pull out the right volume. I'd have to look through all the pages until I found the right one where I can just type in.
God, reading. Woof.
But I type in who was the Blue Blazer.
Who was Blue Blazer?
Owen Hart. Everybody knew that.
I didn't know that.
That's how when he died, he was playing the Blue Blazer, and I was watching that pay per view when he fell from the sky. And it was disturbing.
I bet you watched somebody die in
Well,
real
they didn't
time.
stop the show, and all of the wrestlers they were doing promos and they were like crying, and they were still trying to do their act. Yeah, it was crazy, crazy.
That's super fucked up.
Yeah, the show must go on.
I don't think that's.
He fell and hit it. He fell from the top of the stadium,
Stop.
and
You
his
can't tell me this.
head hit the turnbuckle.
Stop.
Snapped his neck.
Oh my god, stop. That hurts.
Remember we watched the Dark Side of Wrestling about? You don't remember
Dark
that
Side
one?
of the Ring, yeah.
Dark
I
Side of the
don't.
Ring. When they had his wife go up to where he fell from, because they were trying to say that they think that somebody messed with the harness,
Oh my god.
but they think he just didn't put it on right.
She'd need to. She's got to be in serious therapy for that.
Well, his brother was messed up for a little while. Bret Hart was his brother, but he eventually came back to WWE. They all do.
They all come back.
They all come back. But yeah, no, if it wasn't for like the quickness of being able to look something up,
You'd be fine with a flip phone.
yeah.
Did you have a flip phone back in the day? Did you go straight from the Nokia where you could play Snake?
Well, I had the Nokia, and then I had the durable T190.
That sounds like a battery.
So when I worked at Fridays, I used to drop it all the time, but it was
durable.
It was a Nextel. Me and my brother used to chirp.
I fucking hated the chirp. I had a bunch of friends back in the day that had chirp.
Yeah, but the chirp didn't go against your minutes back then.
So stupid. I hated that.
Chirp all day and night. But yeah, no. It actually was a flip phone. It did flip up. Now that I think about it. But you didn't have to chirp. You could.
What was that other one that flipped up? What was that one called?
The Razor?
No, it was like T-Mobile or the Sidekick. Did you ever have a Sidekick?
No.
Me either. The Kardashians.
Never had a Sidekick. Never had a BlackBerry.
You never had a BlackBerry?
No.
Oh, BBM?
I went from the durable T190 to the iPhone.
Wow, what a leap!
Yeah, it was leaps and bounds.
I had a BlackBerry.
Actually, you put I had a what do you call those things where you make a label maker?
You had a label maker?
No, they had one at Fridays, and I made a label that's a durable T190. Put it on.
I was like, wow, what a weird thing for a single man in his 20s and 30s to have a label maker.
Oh, that was right around the dawn of the internet. We didn't know what we were doing yet, so we needed
labels.
Had to label all the
keyboard, mouse.
Exactly.
Hard drive.
Woo. All right. Well, I guess the last question I have for you is, are you hitching your trailer to this movie?
Yes, I am. I'd see it for sure. I think it's on Netflix too. So
yeah, it comes out soon, but
yeah, so I'm watching it. If it's on Netflix, I'm watching it. I'm watching pretty much everything on Netflix. But I do love Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale, so I'm in.
Yeah,
you
and
are you hitching your trailer?
100%.
Yeah, it's basically your biography.
Yeah, like the fact that Bill Burr's stuff is so like anti-woke movement that I think A, this movie will be hilarious, and B, it's gonna piss a bunch of people off, I'm sure.
So you gotta see it.
Yeah, because that makes me laugh. When a group of people get pissed off about something stupid, that makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like his
stand-up makes you laugh when I get pissed off at you. So.
Oh yeah, it does. I definitely. When you get super aggravated with me when I'm just being stupid, it makes me laugh. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm glad I could be your entertainment.
I'm glad you could be my entertainment as well, babe. And hopefully we entertained a lot of people out there.
Let's hope so. Different countries.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I forgot to say,
So why don't you say goodbye to
I don't know how to
whatever
say
country?
goodbye in Italian.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci! And to everybody out there, stay hitching.